All right, we have new information now about this bizarre incident this week in Little Italy. It left hundreds of people without homes. A man racing through an apartment building, opening water valves, sending what you see here, rivers down hallways and into homes. 10 News reporter Cassie Carlisle is there live. And Cassie, one resident told you that he thought someone was attacking the building.
Yeah, he definitely thought it was a terrorist attack. Now, the judge agreed with the deputy DA in court earlier today, raising his bail from $600,000 all the way up to $1 million, agreeing that he's a threat to everyone here inside this building.
I thought it was a terrorist act at first, honestly. It was that crazy.
Swimming through chest-deep water with Gus in his arms, Ryan Lang felt the fear in his neighbor's eyes.
It was like a waterfall coming down on you of water. When I came down to the bottom floor, there were people like crying. They were like, "We're trapped in here, we're trapped, we can't get out."
This after someone went through the stairwell just after midnight Monday morning and opened these fire hose valves. Francisco Morales seen later that morning in handcuffs. Today, he faced a judge with 45 counts of felony vandalism and 8 charges of assault causing great bodily injury.
He poses a great threat to the community, as there are over 200 individuals, citizens, the community of Little Italy, that are unable to return to their home. Essentially, they have lost everything.
The judge agreeing and raising bail from $600,000 to $1 million.
Seemed like somebody was trying to kill everybody in there.
Ryan in just one of the 45 uninhabitable units. The damage in the millions.
I feel like it's unlivable. It smells like musty and moldy. It looks like they're going to have to redo all the carpets and the drywall.
Several residents telling 10 News they've gotten no word on when they can move back in. For now, Ryan is living in an Ocean Beach hotel.
I just want to know why he did it. You know, I mean, I feel like there's got to be some sort of reason beyond. I mean, even if I don't know, if somebody said maybe he might have been drunk or something, but that doesn't seem like a normal thing for somebody to do.
Thankful everyone escaped, imagining the nightmare could have been worse.
And we got a statement from the management company saying that they are in constant communication with their tenants, and they're working with their own insurer as well as the tenants' insurers to ensure that everybody is taken care of. Reporting live here in Little Italy, Cassie Carlisle, 10 News.
Thank you, Cassie. Well, SeaWorld's first-of-its-kind coaster, Tidal Twister, is on track to open in May. Crews are busy working to finish building that roller coaster. It has a figure-8 horizontal design with dueling trains. Riders can face forward and backward on the trains. Whoa, the ride can go up to 30 miles an hour. Tidal Twister will join the Electric Eel and Manta roller coasters in the park.
Looks like fun.
Yeah, you want to ride? Yeah? Maybe? No?
That's a maybe for me.
Okay. Well, it's a smelly problem for residents in one San Diego community. It's no surprise that there can be an odor problem near the Miramar landfill. But people nearby say this year, though, the stench has become unbearable.
And more fallout from our unusually wet winter, why the rain means that allergy season will be earlier and stronger.
And victimized again, why Californians who lost their homes in a deadly wildfire are now being forced out again.
A chance for drizzle overnight, but more rain this weekend. I'm tracking how much we're going to get. 10 News is back in 90 seconds.
Well, if your office is like ours, you're probably seeing a lot of people sneezing and dealing with sore throats, and our recent rain may be to blame.
10 News reporter Jared Aarons reveals why our unusually wet weather is making for an earlier and harder hitting allergy season.
There's pollen on our trees. We get mold just because we have the warm and wet environment, and with that we can get these allergy symptoms.
Doctors at Scripps Healthcare say they're already seeing a lot of patients come in with the usual symptoms: coughing, sneezing, runny noses, and even people who don't typically have allergies are having problems just because of how cold and damp the air is. Here's the bad news. It's going to get worse because in a few weeks, spring hits, and we're expecting a super bloom. All those flowers mean more pollen and more problems.
If you have mild allergies when it's a mild spring or small amounts of pollen, you can have increasing allergies when there's significantly more amounts of pollen or mold.
Jared Aarons, 10 News.
And doctors tell us over-the-counter medicine is usually enough to fight the symptoms, but if they don't go away, go to the doctor. It could be a sign of an infection or a virus.
First, flames chased campfire survivors from their homes. Now, water has become the new threat. Recent rains are flooding an RV lot where some 60 campfire survivors have been staying. It's also threatening to reach nearby mobile homes. Emergency shelter services ended at the RV park a week ago. That means that people staying there now are paying rent.
Well, there are some privacy concerns you should know about when it comes to DNA testing sites. Experts say make sure you fully read over the fine print, especially the privacy policy. Be mindful of what you're clicking. Some services, like 23andMe and Ancestry DNA, allow users to opt in or out of sharing their genetic data with third-party researchers. Those include nonprofits, schools, and pharmaceutical companies.
People need to be aware that, again, it's not just the site that you're sharing with, but potentially their business partners that you may or may not know about.
Experts say the biggest threat with these sites are possible hackers, so be careful who you trust with your most personal information.
Springtime is right around the corner. That means the flower fields in Carlsbad will be in full bloom. The flower fields officially open March 1st. Look at this, a beloved springtime attraction in San Diego County. You can experience 50 acres of rolling hillsides covered in flowers overlooking the Pacific Ocean. Maybe you can get a helicopter like us and get these views. New this year, there will be an after-hours event where guests can enjoy a picnic surrounded by thousands of flowers.
Now, 10 News Pinpoint Weather, sponsored by Mozzie Heating, Air and Solar, voted Best Heating and Air Company 2 years in a row.
All we need is the weather to cooperate, though.
Right. Although
it's pretty today.
They say the rain will make them brighter, right?
That's why we have all of those flowers, because we had all the rain, so it's actually good. Today was actually beautiful. We had not a ton of cloud coverage. We're having looking at a really nice sunset right now in Del Mar from our sky cam out there. Just the right amount of cloud coverage to give us those really beautiful sunset colors. But for the rest of the week, we're going to be pretty mild. Downtown, 62 degrees is your temperature. Winds out of the west-northwest at 9 miles per hour. Sunrise for tomorrow will be at 6:19. Hour by hour on the coast, temperatures mainly in the 50s for tonight. We will see more clouds developing. 51 is going to be your main temperature for the evening hours. A lot of clouds building, and same story for the inland valleys, where we have a better chance for some drizzle to develop overnight. Our marine layer is thickening, but a light chance for drizzle, and mainly in North County. Similar story with our temperatures, though, averaging near about 51 degrees. Lots of clouds overnight, lingering through tomorrow morning, but once again, we will see partly cloudy skies. A little bit warmer tomorrow than what we saw for today. 68 degrees will be your temperature on the coast. 65 for the inland valleys, a little cooler than where we should be. 53, lots of sunshine, though, once again tomorrow for the mountains and the deserts as well. Temperature is 73 degrees for tomorrow. So we do have more clouds developing overnight, especially by 4 a.m. We're going to start to see some little patches of drizzle pushing in, mainly from the marine layer. So we're not going to see any heavy rainfall whatsoever. And our best chances in North County, looks like downtown San Diego, Chula Vista, and the South Bay should be staying pretty dry. We're going to continue to hold on to that cloud coverage even through about noon tomorrow. Clouds stretching all the way through our higher elevations in our mountain areas. After we get through noontime, we're going to start to see some clearing with those clouds clearing up and more sunshine, and then a nice clear evening for tomorrow night as well. So a slight chance for drizzle. We're not going to be picking up any heavy rainfall. Our better chance of rain is pushing in Saturday into Sunday. A big storm pushing in once again to Northern California. Our first chance of rain is going to be early Saturday, so by 9 a.m. starting to see some sprinkles down in San Diego County, picking up even more so, better chance through about 3 p.m. This is not going to be a big storm. We're not anticipating any heavy rainfall here, just up to about ½ inch for the coast and the valleys, 1 inch for the mountains, and just trace amounts for your desert areas. 10 News Pinpoint 7-day forecast. Partly cloudy conditions continue for the next 2 days. More rain chances moving in Saturday into Sunday. Nice for Monday into Tuesday, and another storm pushing in on Wednesday. Inland Valley 65 for tomorrow, cooling down slightly for Sunday. Starting next week, really nice, lots of sunshine there, but another storm on the way. So as of right now, 3 chances for rain in the 7-day forecast.
Really looking forward to you not saying another storm is on the way.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too, but it keeps happening every day.
All right, well, the flowers will be pretty.
Yes, flowers will be nice.
Thank you, Jen. And now 10 News Time Saver Traffic with Officer Tommy Strickland. Hi, Tommy.
Hi, Brian. Lots of heavy traffic out there on this Wednesday evening. Let's take a live look. If you're traveling on that northbound 5, as you can see, it's very heavy there. That's going to be heavy all the way up to Carlsbad. That northbound 15 is going to also be heavy. It's moving a little bit faster than the 5 there. That's also going to be heavy up to Escondido. And then once you get up to that 78, as you can see, that eastbound and westbound side is moving slow through San Marcos. I'm Officer Tommy Strickland with your 10 News Time Saver Traffic.
A pungent odor from the Miramar landfill is offending nostrils for miles. Coming up, why neighbors say it's not just the trash, but the management of the mess that stinks.
Innocent prank or a thief caught gold-handed? The explanation that the man charged with stealing an Oscar is offering up in court.
Skycam View, sponsored by San Diego County Credit Union. It's not big bank banking, it's better.
The man accused of stealing last year's Oscar for Best Actress says it was a prank gone wrong. Terry Bryant says he was just borrowing Frances McDormand's Oscar. She's seen here getting her statue engraved at last year's Governor's Ball. A short time later, it was gone. That's when Bryant is seen holding the Oscar, posing for photos. He faces trial and felony grand theft charges. If convicted, he could face up to 3 years in prison.
I just want people to know that I'm not a thief. You know, I meant no harm by this.
In a police report, McDormand told investigators she did not want Bryant to be prosecuted. Bryant's attorney says the academy pushed for criminal charges. His felony trial could begin in April. His attorney says he'll subpoena McDormand to testify.
All right, new information now on a terrifying encounter for a Florida zookeeper. The keeper was working with a rhino when she was hit in the stomach with its horn. ABC's Victor Oquendo has the latest on the zookeeper's condition.
That zookeeper was struck in the stomach. She had to spend the night in the hospital, but she is expected to be okay. The zoo tells us that she'd been here for nearly 7 years. She had plenty of experience. There are still so many questions about what happened here. It was a routine training session at the Jacksonville Zoo gone horribly wrong. This massive 4,000-pound white rhino named Archie striking a zookeeper with its horn. That zookeeper was rushed to the hospital with injuries. The zoo says they train animals to make them more comfortable ahead of medical work. There's a video posted on the zoo's YouTube page where they explain why, basically making the process less stressful for the animals and for the trainers. Archie, 50 years old, a star at the zoo since 1975, famously escaped his enclosure in 2010. It took nearly 20 zoo workers and nearly 5 hours to corner him and eventually sedate him. Florida Fish and Wildlife are investigating. Just last month at another Florida zoo, a 2-year-old slipped into a rhino enclosure, suffering a lacerated liver, bruised lung, injured kidney, and numerous contusions to her back, chest, abdomen, and head, spending nearly a week in the hospital. In the training sessions here at the Jacksonville Zoo, they teach the animals to open their mouths or lift their legs. The zoo says that they are now reviewing protocol, and they're hoping that zookeeper will be sent home today. Victor Oquendo, ABC News, Jacksonville, Florida.
Well, a powerful smell from the Miramar landfill is upsetting neighbors from University City to Pacific Beach. Why the city says the stench is worse than normal and what's being done to clear the air.
And Michael Cohen's testimony sends shockwaves across the country. Straight ahead, San Diego attorney Gretchen Von Helms gives some fresh insight into the lessons learned on Capitol Hill.
And new details tonight about the mother who allegedly threw her kids off a second-story balcony. That's coming.
Now to the story we've been tracking all day, the fallout as President Trump's former lawyer, Michael Cohen, testifies publicly in Congress.
He is capable of behaving kindly, but he is not kind. He is capable of committing acts of generosity, but he is not generous. He is capable of being loyal, but he is fundamentally disloyal.
Cohen's credibility is also a key issue here. After all, he's going to prison for previously lying to Congress.
Now, we're joined by prominent San Diego attorney Gretchen Von Helms. Thank you so much for being with us.
Well, thank you for having me.
We were talking about getting up and watching this. You said you were riveted
I was
by this.
spellbound. I had to watch and get up and see what he had to say.
Yeah.
And
let's talk about the strategy on both sides, what we're going to see from the Republicans and from the Democrats right now.
Well, the Republicans obviously want to make sure that this man credibility is at issue, because yes, he has a conviction for lying. He did lie, and he's admitted to lying. He says, however, that he lied to protect the president, and now he's coming forward because he's no longer going to lie to protect the president and tell the truth. And of course, the Republicans don't want to believe that, which I understand, because he does have those credibility issues. And so the issue for the Democrats is, knowing that he has these credibility issues, how do they corroborate his testimony? So that's what they're looking to do. What are the other witnesses that are there? What is the other pieces of evidence? They're asking for those other corroborating documents and witnesses in order to say, look, he has credibility issues, but even liars on issue A can be telling the truth on issue B. we know that criminal conspiracies are hatched in hell, and you don't end up with saints as witnesses, right? You end up with devils. And we've seen mob trials, we've seen drug trials, we've seen political corruption trials. Look at a dean who testified on the Nixon Watergate scandal. People who have previously lied can tell the truth. That's what the Democrats are talking about.
The president today he really heard it from Michael Cohen. He came out swinging, calling him a racist, calling him a con man, and saying he knew about WikiLeaks. What of all the testimony today do you feel like was the most damaging to the president, if people are to believe it?
Well, the most damaging is the stuff that Michael Cohen has percipient knowledge about, stuff he actually did and stuff he actually heard. So the racist stuff and the con man, that's all his opinion. But the evidence about the payoffs to Stormy Daniels and the other witnesses, he wrote those checks. He received payback from Donald Trump's accountant, and Donald Trump Jr. signed those checks. So those are other witnesses that have knowledge about that act.
Evidence people can see.
Exactly. So those are the most damaging parts. And the stuff about the WikiLeaks, the email that supports what he was saying. Look, he knew about this in advance. We discussed this. We talked about it. He wanted this to happen. And that's what's damaging, not his opinion, him calling him a con man, him saying he's running a big infomercial for the campaign. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. We won't really ever know because there's not that concrete evidence to back up Mr. Cohen.
I think we can all agree this is just definitely not the last we'll be hearing or talking about all of this. Gretchen Von Helms, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so
Thanks
much.
for having me.
And we have new information tonight on that baby girl allegedly killed by her own mother. She has been ID'd today as Eslyn Ortega. This happened yesterday in Upland. The mother is 24 years old. She reportedly threw the baby girl and her 1-year-old son off a second-story balcony, and then she jumped head first. The little girl died. The boy has a broken foot and is listed in stable condition. The mother will be in court tomorrow. The motive for this is still unknown. In the Live Center, Jennifer Kastner, 10 News.
Yeah, just a real tragedy. All right, thank you, Jen. New at 5:30, it's a smelly problem at Miramar.
This is a landfill that is in the middle of America's finest city.
Yeah, from University City to Claremont, even Pacific Beach, residents say that the Miramar landfill is spreading its owner far and wide.
And residents say this year the problem is even worse. They tell 10 News anchor Jim Patton they blame mismanagement for that growing stench.
You come out the door in the morning and it just hits you.
Like last night or this morning at 3:30 this morning, the smell woke me up out of a dead sleep.
Janice Dady and Matt Wiest both live in University City, about a mile apart, but in a similar vocabulary zone when it comes to describing the smell that often permeates their neighborhoods from the Miramar landfill.
You take the natural gas smell, mix that with dog poop and vomit, that's what it smells like.
And then all of a sudden in 2016, we started smelling putrid, disgusting, horrid smells.
The distant neighbors say complaints at that time led to hearings with the San Diego County Air Pollution Control District. Fines resulted for the city, and mitigation measures appeared to clear the air. In recent weeks, when the wind blows from the east, neighbors say the smell is back.
You shouldn't have to live like that. Not when we pay these taxes.
A public information officer for the city of San Diego says the short story is the rain, that as soon as the Miramar landfill has a chance to dry out from all the recent rains, the odor will dry up as well. Residents say that is not sufficient.
I hope the city would mitigate this and not blame it on the rain or other excuses.
The bottom line is, it's got to stop. This is now, from 2016 to now, we shouldn't still have these odors.
In University City, Jim Patton, 10 News.
Now, the city did just provide a written response listing a number of new measures currently in place or that will soon be in place to help control odors. They included a special covering machine and an expansion of a gas collection system. The complete list will be included with this story at 10news.com.
CHP is investigating what caused a string of crashes on State Route 78 in San Marcos. One of them was deadly. The first crash happened around 1 a.m. A driver was killed after crashing into a semi-truck, which was reportedly reportedly disabled in the eastbound lanes. Hours later, another crash happened in the westbound lanes involving a pickup truck and 2 other cars. The crash caused the pickup to flip onto its roof. That driver was taken to the hospital. The other drivers were okay.
Well, police are investigating what caused a reckless driver to attack a woman at the Hyatt Hotel in Mission Bay. Construction workers say a man drove through a construction zone and hit their truck and a parked car, which caught fire. He then ran off to the Hyatt, where he attacked a woman in the lobby. The woman was in town visiting family. They tell us the man tackled and choked her. Police arrested him, and that woman is recovering in the hospital.
President Trump says that his summit with North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un is off to a great start. The president hopes to get North Korea to give up its nuclear weapons. ABC's Maggie Rulli reveals how the two leaders are bonding.
Starting a high-stakes summit of nuclear negotiations over dinner.
Nothing like having a nice private dinner.
President Trump and North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un sitting side by side in one of Hanoi's finest restaurants.
So we're going to have a very busy day tomorrow, and a lot of things are going to be solved, I hope, and I think it'll lead to really a wonderful situation long term. And our relationship is a very special relationship.
The president's planning to capitalize on that special relationship, promising the country that if they denuclearize, their economy could boom. Tweeting, "The potential is awesome, a great opportunity, like almost none other in history for my friend Kim Jong-un." But U.S. intelligence officials say they see no sign North Korea is ready to give up its nukes. Kim Jong-un says they've been able to overcome many obstacles in the last 261 days since they last met, and hopes they are successful this time. The president tweeted right after their dinner saying that everything went great. Tomorrow they'll meet up again for extended bilateral meetings, and there could be a potential for a press conference from President Trump as well. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, New York.
Well, our wet winter could mean that we'll be in for a rough fire season. The new tool, though, which could help firefighters react before the flames grow out of control.
And conning a thief, how a homeowner tricked a burglar into showing herself on a surveillance camera.
And another check of time-saver traffic with Officer Tommy Strickland. Hey, Tommy.
Hey, Lindsay. Lots of crashes to bring to you on that I-5. Let's take a live look. If you're traveling on that southbound 5 at La Jolla Village, we've got 2 vehicles. That's on the right shoulder. And then also southbound 5 at Balboa, we got 1 vehicle that's affecting the right lane and 1 vehicle on the right shoulder. Also, if you're on that eastbound 8 heading into Mollison, you got 2 vehicles. That's also on the right shoulder. And then we have a crash that's going to be eastbound 52 east of the 15. And those vehicles are on the right shoulder too. I'm Officer Tommy Strickland with your 10 News Time Saver Traffic.
A Nashville man used the same expensive equipment a woman tried to steal from him as bait to capture her on camera. A neighbor found Cannon Kinnard's generator wrapped in blue tarp tucked away behind a chimney on the edge of his backyard. The generator was taken from his woodshed, but he thinks the thief left it behind because it was too heavy to carry off. So he installed 3 cameras in his backyard to catch the thief if they came back. He put the generator in the basement and instead stacked together some bricks and cinder blocks and wrapped them in the same blue tarp.
She's looking, she's like, uh-oh, she just realized that it's cinder blocks there. There she is.
Kinnard reported the incident to police. So far, no arrests have been made, though.
It shouldn't be too hard to find her. A nightmare scenario for a woman who has invested more than $1 million to preserve her historic home in Bankers Hill. She may have to tear part of it down to make way for a new park with an AIDS memorial. It's a story that 10 News reporter John Horn is working on for 10 News at 6. He joins us now live in the newsroom. Hey, John.
Hey, Brian. Yeah, let me show you this house. Here's just a picture of it. We're going to take you inside on 10 News at 6. 1924 home, Tudor style. You go inside, you see the knights in shining armor and the candles, and it's pretty impressive in there. But some of it might have to come down. A furious legal battle with the city over who really owns the land right next to the house. We're going to tell you all about it coming up on 10 News at 6 and show you what this house actually does for